however this vote goes, don't get mad about it, because you know the Kraken is going to get built. If you're sitting there going like, why are people voting for this thing? We need the Kraken. Dude, it's going to happen. They wouldn't have put it up for a vote if they weren't already willing to build it. And they know that people want it. So it's going to happen. Yeah. There's a lot of interest in a scout carrier, not just from, say, the darker corners of society, but even way out there. There are people who want these big ships. Way up there in the UEE and the mercenary and the legitimate crowd, they all want these ships, and they've been asking for these ships since like the beginning. When they first saw the Idris, and they were like, how many ships does the Idris hold? 3. And they're like, we need a carrier. We need a pocket carrier. I mean, like, this is a discussion that's been going on for years. Dude, it's going to happen. It's fun to have a vote up there and everybody gets to cast their ballot, but we know they are going to build it.
This claim is ours. I'll make this easy for you. Leave now, or we'll kill you. I'm happy either way.
The time has come for something new. Something to change the game. When seeking fortunes at the fringes of civilization, you need someone you can trust. In this age of uncertainty, it's time to take back your strength. It's time to release the Kraken. Drake Interplanetary. We got your back.
Where you had to put it on certain spots. Yep. You can place items anywhere you want, pick them up from crouching, so there's a lot more interactive ability and tactileness. No! No! It's never done it there. Yeah. All right, well. Is that the GPU crash again? Is it the GPU game?
Settle down.
Glenn!
Heal yourself.
Yeah, you better get that med pen. Can we get any?
Did you die? Oh.
So yeah.
Kraken, no real surprise there. Kind of called that one like 10 months ago, so no real shocker there. I mean, the Habs, that was another thing too, but I mean, that was kind of a given. Kind of figured it was going to go that way. I mean, I took it a step further and I said, hey, you know what? They could have your own like landing pads, and that could be the kind of the genesis of the hangar module into the universe. That could be a thing, but well, it looks like we're still using landing sites for now, or spaceports, so kind of 50-50 on that one, though that was really kind of low-hanging fruit, but you know, there was no real surprises. Overall, I enjoyed the presentation, or I eventually enjoyed the presentation, like a lot of people. I was watching it on the RSI website, and I was kind of going like, this audio seems to be slipping further and further out of sync. And I mean, it would be funny because I would be seeing, you know, Brian Chambers talking, and I'm hearing Tyler's voice. What is going on here? Oh man, is this going to be the whole presentation? This is supposed to be all day. And luckily someone was like, no, it's on Twitch. It's on Twitch. And I'm not really a big Twitch viewer, so yeah, I had to deal with commercials here and there. But overall, I enjoyed it. I genuinely enjoyed the presentations. Well, some of them. I kind of skipped out on the middle of it, and you know, made food and actually did a raid. But it was fun. It was interesting. Now, of course, later on in the presentation, of course, we got the road to release, which once again was really no big surprise because we had talked about pretty much all of those points through the summer and leading into the autumn. I mean, I've done a few videos on that topic, so I mean, when I was sitting there watching, I was like, yep, already know, yep, knew you were going to do that, knew you were going to say that too, yep. I mean, I think almost, if not even like a year ago, we talked about the fact that, you know, when people were freaking out about, oh, it's not going to be 150 star systems, it's only going to be 5 at release, you know, blah, blah, blah. And people were kind of going mental over that. And I was saying, like, if you can do star systems, individual star systems to this level of detail, and of course we saw the city, the metro stations, the starports, all the different places you can go, and that's just one location on a planet. And remember, you're adding in moons and other planets and all this stuff. There's so much to do in an environment like that. I mean, it's unparalleled. I mean, you're talking about, you know, when he's talking in the presentation about billions of kilometers to a side, you know, for, you know, these areas that we're playing in and all the content that you could squeeze into that. By comparison, I think the last measurement that I know of, I think it was taken during Cataclysm. World of Warcraft only had like 300 square kilometers of play space in the world, and all the content that they can manage to squeeze into that. So if you think about something the size of Star Citizen, how much content, how much stuff there can be to do in an area like that. Of course, we'd like to have more star systems, more space to explore, and things will come online organically over time. Once again, you know, I said that a long time ago. I don't think people are going to notice or mind all that much as we kind of evolve into the game. And so, I mean, really, there weren't that many surprises in the presentation at all. I mean, this is all stuff that we've discussed for some of it a long time. Stuff that we pretty much knew was going to happen, knew was coming. But one thing did kind of come out of left field. Now, I guess I kind of said during ship updates, I mean, they might pull a surprise ship. There might be a big surprise at the at CitizenCon, and of course, it did in fact materialize as the new Valkyrie dropship, which was kind of a shocker. I looked at it and I went, you know, there's so many great features here. There's a good weapon layout on the Valkyrie. You know, they had those cannons hanging under the wings that were remotely operated, turret on top, turret on the bottom. A lot of great things about that ship. Sadly, the cockpit view was not one of them. Oh my god. But yeah, it was a great ship. I liked it. There was a lot of cool stuff going on. Once again, you got those guns hanging down that people can remotely operate. You got the turrets, but this cockpit was just killing me. I mean, there's so many good ideas here. You know, the waist guns, everything. So much goodness in this ship. I mean, you know, we've talked just recently, strangely enough, about going in and attacking ground points, you know, with these new FPS missions, all of that, and what it might take to handle a mission like that. And then, oddly enough, this ship appears that kind of fills that role. But the cockpit, man. I mean, can we get a booster seat for ships? Is that something that we can buy at Dumper Depot or whatever? I mean, something to just kind of, you know, raise us up about 4 or 5 inches. You know, just give us a little bit more of a commanding view of the area. It was one of those things. I mean, but it also kind of highlighted here with the guns once again is the massive obstruction because of the way that they're built, and unfortunately how their sights are lined up on a lot of guns. I mean, there are some outstanding guns. The Custodian is one of them. The A4 is also an outstanding weapon, so it doesn't really obscure your sight all that much, but unfortunately it just kind of highlights that issue over and over and over again. Hopefully at some point we'll get like some better sighting systems on firearms that allow you to actually see what you're shooting at. Or, you know what, I mean, at the very least, at least we have options, right? At least we have options. So, you know, not all firearms are quite this awful looking to kind of look over the sights. I mean, it is what it is. But overall, I walked away from the presentation. I like the mission content. I like the broader branching missions. I like the objectives. I like having to travel around and hit multiple stages of a mission. Interesting. But yeah, I mean, overall, I was pretty satisfied with the presentation. I was kind of dismayed at the fact that Squadron 42 made such a small appearance in the presentation, but then again, they said, you know, once again, we had talked about this, the interdependencies between both games, OCS being something that was needed for Squadron 42, as they told us. Now that that's kind of there, then Squadron 42, I guess, can move forward and finally get completed and kind of out of the way, hopefully, and more resources can be turned into getting Star Citizen into a completed state. So of course, in the end, we will you know, we'll pull these things apart and we'll talk about them in turn over the next little while. But yeah, I mean, no real surprises. I was pretty happy with the presentation. The road to release was what I expected it to be. Pretty much everything that I thought was going to be there was there in one form or another. So, no real surprises. And I'm actually pretty excited to get my hands on 3.3. You know, hint, hint. Let's get that happening. You know, now. Anyways. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and thanks for watching. Now I'm going back to bed.
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.